Motor Week, television's automotive magazine on Speed Vision. Your host for Motor Week, John Davis.
Hello and welcome again to Motor Week. We're glad to have you with us here on Speed Vision. The tough part of building an awesome reputation is the fact you have to constantly live up to it. And when you have a reputation like Ferrari, that requires a lot of work. Each product must be even more impressive than the last. Ferrari's latest addition to its legacy is this car, the F550 Maranello. It's designed to evoke the greatest GT cars of Ferrari's past while powering the company's name forward into the 21st century. And that's a tall order, even for a Ferrari. But the Ferrari 550 Maranello is a car well equipped to do just that, and do it with the style and panache that Ferraris have always been known for. The lines of the aluminum body panels, which are Ferrari welded to a tubular steel frame, are pure Ferrari and recall classic models like the 275 GTB. But with just enough modern aerodynamic updating to keep this from being just a retro styling job. This modern Ferrari rides on a 98.4-inch wheelbase and weighs a hefty 3,726 pounds, a far cry from the comparatively small, stripped-down GT cars of old. But then today's Ferrari is built for a market that values comfort and refinement as much as raw power. The raw power is available if you want it. But under the 550's Ram induction hood lurks an Italian monster, a 5.5-liter dual overhead cam 48-valve V12 that delivers 485 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. That's thanks to ultra-high-end components like titanium connecting rods, forged aluminum pistons, and a variable geometry intake system, as well as a computer-controlled variable back pressure stainless steel exhaust system. Power is routed to the rear wheels through a rear-mounted differential that also incorporates the 6-speed gearbox and controlled by a stiff manual shifter of the classic Ferrari gated style. The whole package rides on a double wishbone suspension with electronically controlled gas shocks and 18-inch magnesium Speedline wheels wearing ultra-low profile ZR-rated tires. In pure performance terms, that means 0 to 60 in only 4.6 seconds and a primo quarter-mile pass of 12.7 seconds at 118 miles per hour. Torque is so massive that it easily overwhelms the rear tire's grip. Thankfully, the throttle is extremely precise, giving the driver excellent control. But a delicate hand is required to get the best out of the 550, especially if you put it on a racetrack as we did at Georgia's Roebling Road Raceway. Pitch it hard into a turn and you'll soon be in trouble. The steering is so quick that only smooth, careful inputs will yield smooth cornering. The balance, however, is very neutral for a front-engine car that weighs almost 2 tons. The front end produces mild plow in tight turns, while the rear end drifts out slightly in fast ones, but we were surprised to feel the body twitch over fast bumps. It's a car that requires the careful hand of an experienced driver, as would any car with enough torque to light up the rear tires in 4th gear. Though with its huge extra-thick Brembo brakes and a sophisticated anti-lock system, the 550 is easy to slow down. Stops from 60 required only 109 very stable feet. All in all, it's tremendously exciting and more than a little intimidating when you really start to explore the outer limits of the 550's performance envelope. But unlike so many Ferraris of years past, this breathtaking performance does not come at the expense of daily driving. The ride is remarkably supple, with little of the harsh, jarring feel over bumps that so many old guard Ferrari drivers are used to. Though those bare-drilled aluminum pedals, especially the clutch, still require plenty of leg muscle to operate. And to help keep all that torque from taking control, there's a sophisticated multi-mode traction control system that uses both the brake and engine management system to manage wheel spin. All this makes the 550 Maranello the most sophisticated road car that Ferrari has ever built. But that doesn't mean that it hasn't got every bit of Italian character that we expect in a Ferrari. The 2-seat interior could only be that of an expensive Italian Grand Touring car. Leather and polished metal are everywhere that you look. The tight-fitting power-adjustable buckets hold you in like a proper racing seat, but offer better padding and support. They position you directly in front of a set of large, clear analog gauges and to the left of an auxiliary cluster set high in the center dash, though the exposed wire to these gauges certainly looks out of place on such a high-end car. Lower in the center dash sit a set of straightforward automatic climate controls and a horizontally mounted stereo that, while set too far below the driver's line of vision, is much better than those of most previous Ferraris. Luggage is carried on a package shelf behind the seats and in a trunk that looks small but is surprisingly deep. And it all cost a mere $208,000. That's including federal luxury and gas guzzler taxes, about the price of 3 Mercedes E55 sedans. Of course, for many well-heeled drivers, this is not an outrageous price for so much performance, sophistication, and heritage. In fact, Automobile Magazine went so far as to call it the perfect sports car in the way it blends racing performance with GT utility. High praise indeed, but this is clearly a car worthy of the great Ferrari name, and a machine well able to take Italy's most famous car maker forward rapidly into a new millennium.